It's not their galleries, it's the artists doing the projects here.
There's another artist fair that's new this year at the Shelbourne Hotel. And I don't know the quantity of artists. It's not a huge number, but it's strictly for artists, and it's called the Artists Fair. And they do have a website. And I think you might find more and more of these types of events coming up because, truthfully, there's not enough galleries for all the artists. And really, this is about developing the artists' careers, too. So artists are getting creative and figuring out what kind of spaces they can forge together to do collective shows during the fairs as well. There's a lot of alternative spaces. Charo, I know you're here somewhere. Maybe you can speak to that as well. Or Charo, maybe you can talk. Yeah, maybe you can talk to the idea of how can Miami artists and galleries get recognized during this time when there's so much competition just to get attention.
Hi, yes, my name is Charo Kidd, and I'm from Edgestone's Art Space. We're a nonprofit art gallery. This is our third year producing an art fair. It's a very small art fair. This year is actually really small because we lost a very large building we had. But we feel that it's really, really important to participate in the fairs in any way we can, and we've created this art fair for that reason, to make sure that local artists can have a part in it. So we've had artists and galleries, international galleries, show in our space. We also go abroad. We also we've participated in ARCO. We have a parallel show with a group from Basel in Switzerland, and in Circa, Puerto Rico, which is another art fair, because we feel very strongly that Miami is a very important spot, and we need to participate in other things so that we're not just places that people come to, but we also go to their space, and therefore we are players in the whole big international scene. So that's one of our, focuses, to not just be here when Art Basel happens, but also trying to go there. And I really suggest, like Bonnie was saying, that it's really important for artists to go participate and see what's happening up there.
That's really good. And the other thing that has become a tradition is the Wynwood Gallery Night, which is tonight. A lot of the artists or galleries are opening the shows that are going to be up during Basel. So you can go out tonight, as well as all week, and look at the shows that are up. And I'm sure you have friends that are coming in from out of town for this event, and you could be the ambassador that says, come to this gallery, you should see this, or come see this artist. So you can all play an important role of introducing people from the outside to what we have here in Miami.
I just wanted also to introduce another nonprofit organization that's recently opened a chapter here in Miami, Arto Conecto, which we have representatives here, Danny and Alex, who started it, who I believe are going to be trying to mount a show at the Bakehouse, which for those of you who don't know, the Bakehouse is another great space of affordable studios for artists in Miami. And these are great opportunities for those of you who don't know these spaces to have relationships directly with artists, and many of whom are not represented by galleries, so you can create your own relationships with them and buy from them, and hopefully one day they'll be represented in some of these great fairs. But originally, when Basel started, artists took up a lot of these interesting spaces. I mean, Midtown, before Midtown was there, artists used to mount these incredible shows, and for those of you who were around and saw these things, they kind of got squeezed out over the years because, to the benefit of Miami and all of us, a lot more fairs came and took these spaces and rented them. And so artists now are being very creative. There's a great space called 2020 Projects. I don't know if you guys have been there. And a lot of artists run spaces that if you do a little digging, you'll find a lot of Miami artists doing really cool stuff. And like Bonnie said, the galleries make a lot of effort, and so do the artists. So if you have the energy after going to see all these fairs, it really is worth it to connect with the artists who are living and working in Miami, who are doing fantastic work. So you should look at Arto Conecto and at the other things that are happening locally.
Catherine, are those projects included in the information booths that are at the fairs?
Which ones?
The ones you just talked about.
Yes, we are across the street from Aqua. We're on 47 Northeast 25th Street. We're in the map, and we will be making, putting a lot of advertising out there.
Yes, Bakehouse is on the map. It's on 561 Northwest 32nd Street. We just had a very successful show there called A-Bomb, which was kind of an explosive show. I'm Danny Brody. I'm one of the representatives of Art to Connect with my wife Alexandra Rango. We just had a very successful show at Bakehouse called A-Bomb, which stands for Art Basel of Miami Beach. We were examining the impact of Art Basel, Miami Beach on the art scene here and on the artists here as well. Bakehouse is a unique space in Miami because there are 70 low-cost artist studios, and some of the artists are producing really good work. The show that we had was an international call for artists show. We had almost 300 entries to the show, and the two jury prize winners will be exhibited during Art Basel at Bakehouse. So I encourage you to come down to Bakehouse.
I just want to add something to what he said. The Bakehouse is a historical art complex. It's been in Miami for 28 years, so it's also important to keep that in mind. And today they're going through a renaissance. Also, the Bakehouse is going to have a show during Basel called Paraphernalia, and they're going to be exhibiting only Florida artists. So that's basically what the parameters for them to choose. Yeah, and the Go for Artists still open for artists, so, okay? Thank you. 561 Northwest 32nd Street, yeah.
Those of you who are new to this symposium or this marathon, there is a wonderful map here that has been printed up of the Miami art scene, and it does have a list on the back of the different galleries, the art fairs. This is in progress. It's not the final, so always look up on websites for updated information, but it is very handy, and it is here with all the listings and the address.
I just wanted to answer Lana's original question about the information centers. We're going to have two during Art Basel. One's right in front of the Rebel collection, and one's going to be a red dot. And any of you local artists, if you have a show or a space and you want to promote it during that time, you can bring your flyers there. A lot of people walk through our information center trying to look for things to look at, so take advantage of that. And I'll be sending out an email blast. We'll probably be collecting, it will be open on Wednesday, so probably on Tuesday we'll have drop-off for flyers at these two different centers. And they're on the map, so you can see the information centers on the map.
Alexander, is there Miami artists, Miami designers in Design Miami?
No. Unfortunately, there aren't any. Like the art fairs, we have a very similar acceptance and application process. We have a committee that vets all of the galleries that apply to the show. The galleries submit proposals of what they'd like to bring to the show, and also a description of the designers they represent, their program throughout the year, and we decide on the galleries based on all of that information. It's a shame that there really isn't a gallery in Miami that has ever applied to Design Miami, or that might meet the criteria, but hopefully someone will open one soon, considering that our show has had such a great response here in the city.
We certainly have really wonderful designers, and it would be great for them to be showcased. Okay.
I always ask to myself, we have so many fairs now, and when you all guys are gone, what is it that we keep in Miami? I always think about the artist that who doesn't have a gallery yet, and who has not a budget to get to any of these fairs yet. What is it that you, with the experience that you have, could tell us or could teach us about how to get there?
Your question is really about how does an artist